Hey guys! So this time, I'm interviewing someone very special. If you're familiar with Just a Robot's dra- Just a Robots, Just a Robots drama with Chaos 5 then maybe you remember someone named Lily being mentioned. And that's the person I'm interviewing right now. She has a witness to stuff she'd say after this interview, so you'll see that one after this one. Here's the interview I did with her. Hey Lily, welcome.
H, hello. Thank you for having me today. I am pulling up a thing. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Sorry. If I seem like laughing, that's just, I don't know.
Okay, first question. Can you describe the circumstances surrounding your interaction with Lio and how you became a victim of his?
Um, First time I've met him, it was in a private call. It was between me, him, and Jar. And what happened was I guess like Jar made a group chat that happened between me, him, and Lyle. I am trying not to say the nickname I gave him. I don't want you to get demonetized. uh, um, what happened in the call was he found out about my situation with Chaos 55T, or which everyone should know, or probably might know. She was my abuser. And I talked about her in a video that Jar featured me in a few years ago. And I guess Lyle must have seen it and wanted to talk about it in private. And he said that I should have chosen a different term because the term grooming was only meant for children specifically, and that he said that I shouldn't use it for my situation with Chaos. So because of it, Jar had to make massive edits to my part because apparently Lyle thought I was misusing the term. But I think, I don't know if it was before this or after, but I have talked with my older sister about it a few times, the situation with me and Chaos. And mind you, she works as I think it's a counselor, I'm not sure, but she works at a rape crisis center. She has a master's degree in social work. And she thinks, I'm not saying that it is for sure, but me and her think that what happened with me and Chaos may have been considered grooming. Emphasis on the words may have, because there is a chance it could have been grooming. We're not entirely sure. There's a chance that it could have been, though. But, and a huge, massive, but there's also a chance that it could just be considered as indoctrination.
Okay. What specific actions or behaviors of Lio led to your victimization? How would you say it personally impacted you?
So sometime in April of 2022, I tried to come out on a separate stream about how Lio had basically invalidated my feelings and downplayed my experiences with Chaos on a Twitter post, because he said that the evidence that I provided on Jar's video regarding my situation was, and I quote, not sufficient enough. And when I started talking about that in the stream, he got pissy and dragged me and my boyfriend at the time, but we're not dating right now. But I'm good friends with him. I still keep in contact with him, but we're not dating right now. So, basically, Lyle dragged me and him into a Senate call, and lying about him, which I didn't. But he gaslit me into believing it. He also went further on to attack my boyfriend at the time for not being man enough or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what he said exactly, but it was something along those lines. And on top of that, Lyle and his little crusade went further to make me feel like complete shit for trying to get my experiences with chaos around. And Coyote Lovely, who Lyle used to be friends with, even made fun of my voice, saying that he refused to believe what I was saying and that he would not take me seriously because of how my voice sounded. I don't quite remember what else happened in the call because when this was happening, I was developing a really bad anxiety attack because of how he was treating me and because of his actions. What I did remember, however, was I was having really bad suicidal thoughts to the point where a friend of mine that I know in person had to come by to my house to make sure that I wasn't going to do anything stupid that I would regret. But thankfully that didn't happen in the Senate call because if it did, they would have used it all against me. And I'm pretty sure you know that.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like that. Did you ever attempt to address or confront Lyle about his actions? And if so, how did he respond?
Oh, man. I have wanted to address his actions towards me for so long. I actually wanted to confront him about what he did to me. I wanted to ask him for an apology, but I didn't do it because I didn't want to come off as like a Karen, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't want to come off like that, so like I wanted him to do it on his own, but he never ever did. Never.
Yeah, I actually didn't realize that you were that Lily that Chaos interacted with until I read your answers, and there's something I'm curious about.
What's that?
In Lyle's, I think, first call with Turbo and Chaos shared this story about this honestly really odd roleplay between you and her. By your account, is that story true?
It wasn't necessarily like a role play. She made, I guess like an email and pretending to be Madness or something. She used that to make me say and do really gross things. I can't really, say what happened because again, that it's I don't want you to get demonetized, but she also used a at the time a Google Plus account and pretended to be her character Madness just to and like she like basically convinced me into believing that he was real, like a real person. And I have witnesses that can back me up on this. Two, I think want to remain anonymous, maybe three. I know my friend Yuki Eller is a witness. She saw everything.
I might want to interview them and ask them about this.
I mean, she's not on right now, but, like, I could probably ask her later if she's up for it.
Sure. So, that's actually interesting that she convinced you that Madness was a real person, because...
Let's go grab a glass of water. And why don't you go wash your hands?
Shut up, Google. Because, funny enough, in that call, she claims that you and your friends were doing that with her.
No, what?
I'm not bullshitting.
What? Oh, man. No. No. She lied. What she was talking to was too about. She was not 14 when we met. If she was 14 when we met, I would have been in high school. And at the time, I didn't know her personally. I have not come across her at that time. When I first met her, I was 12 and she was like 17, and I was like going on to 18 years old. So like, she was just about turning 18.
I'm going to, if your friends are up to answering some questions I have, I'll add that in the interview, but in the video. But for now, here's my final question. In what ways do you think awareness can be raised about the harmful behaviors of individuals like Lio, and how do you think communities can better protect potential victims?
Alright, listen up everybody, and I want you to listen good. If you are ever in a situation with someone who is like Lio, please do not hesitate to save as much of their information as you can, and don't be afraid to save as much evidence of their treatment towards you as possible. Because guess what? It's going to come in handy if you need to get the police involved.
Good advice. Good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for bringing all this to my attention, Lily.
Mm-hmm. And thanks a butt ton for having me. I mainly do MMDs on my channel. I don't normally do things like this. But again, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
And now here's her interview. And now here's my somewhat mini interview with the person who stepped forward to vouch for Lily, who wished to remain anonymous, so I'll call them CJ. And I also distorted the audio because they asked that their voice be distorted so no one finds them. Here's what they had to say.
Okay. What? Oh, okay. So, CJ, could you please elaborate on some of the things Chaos would do?
So first of all, Chaos would talk about her experiences with an entity she called Madness. She claimed Madness was a high-ranking entity in the afterlife. However, I have a friend who is a spirit, if you believe in that type of stuff, named Levi. Levi had never heard of Madness, and to me told me that Madness was fake. However, I felt awkward saying anything about it because I hadn't known Chaos that long. So it was like, how do I tell them that she's bullshitting? And whenever I would talk about my experiences, she would butt in and try to talk about her own, and her story would vary depending on what I said, to try to seem like I was confirming her theories and such. She eventually made a website called Members of Chaos, where she had people click a button to signify that they were a part of her thing, or had her reach like a like button or something like that. I forgot the exact number that was on that page, but there definitely was a website.
As far as you know, is this page still active?
No, it's not active anymore.
Okay. So here's something Chaos claimed in her first chat with Lio Theo, and this call is public on Lio's channel. She claimed that she made this person as an OC, and that Lily and...
No, but let's see.
What?
It wasn't an OC. Like, she was trying to get people to believe in him.
And that's what I find interesting, because she was going around claiming that Lily, you, and your friends were trying to get her to believe he was.
No. And also, that is really, really funny that she tries to claim that she was saying that, because she knows what types of disorder... I don't know how much she remembered, but given my medical history, it's really funny that she said that.
Yeah, if you guys want a link to the call and a timestamp to when Chaos claims this stuff, I can share it to you when we're done recording. But is there anything else you'd like to share about Chaos?
I will say there was probably more that she had done. However, at the time I was experiencing some medical stuff, so it may have been harder for me to remember all of it, but the stuff I'm saying I remember with certainty.
Okay. Do you have any experiences with Lio Convoy?
Not really. I try staying away from him.
Wise decision.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got all I need. Thank you.
Okay.